Hi everybody, Samwise here, and in honor of this month's herb of the month being elderberry, which is very tied for me to my ancestors and land spirits in my Germanic and Celtic lines. Today I want to offer a guided meditation that I'm calling the Ancestors Garden. So I invite you to take a comfortable body position, or the most comfortable that you can. Maybe if you're sitting, leaning back in your chair a little bit to let your nervous system know that it's okay to relax a little. I invite you to lower or close your eyes. And begin by taking 3 deep breaths with me. So deep breath in through the nose if that's available. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more deep breath in. And out. Seeing if there's any more residual tension that wants to leave of its own volition. I invite you just to take a moment or two to connect with your body and sense into wherever your body is making contact with the earth. As we begin the guided meditation of the Ancestors Garden, I invite you to imagine walking towards a gate of a garden. And this gate could be anything. Could be a trellis of plants, vines. Could be a stone opening. It could be a wooden gate. I invite you to take a moment and to imagine, to see what pops into your mind's eye. What shape or form this gate that you're walking towards looks like, feels like, maybe smells like. And just pause for a moment to take in the quality of this gate, this threshold. Noticing the details of it, what it's made out of, what you can notice. We're about to pass through this threshold into this garden space, sacred space. It's tended to by your well and bright ancestors. Perhaps we can take a breath together before stepping through this gate. And whenever you're ready, pass through this gate or threshold and step into the garden. I invite you to notice perhaps what time of day it is as you move into the garden, the temperature, and in your mind's eye, just take a look around. See if you can sense any shapes or plants in this garden. And I invite you to see if there's any particular plant or tree that you feel especially drawn to, and move towards that plant or tree. And if you don't know what it's called or what it is exactly, that's okay. I invite you to notice any shape or color, the size, maybe the smell. And I invite you to stand or sit in front of this plant and really take in the whole of its being. If it feels right to you, maybe touching the leaves or the branches, maybe gently rubbing the leaves to see if they have a smell or smelling any flowers. And even if it feels right to you, maybe taking a tiny little piece of the leaf or flower and touching it gently to your tongue to see if it has any taste, and just noticing what you sense here. Noticing too how you feel in your body in the presence of this plant or tree. And whatever you notice is okay. Moving away from this plant and moving further into the garden, I invite you to see if there's any guide or teacher here in the garden waiting to make a connection with you. And this can take many forms, a wise elder, or even animal beings or other plant beings, or just energy. See whatever pops into your mind's eye as you move further into the garden with an openness to meeting your teacher. As you move to this teacher, you notice that they have a gift for you. It will help you in your journey of understanding and connection. I invite you to receive that gift if it feels right to you. And if no such teacher, no such gift are arising for you, it's okay. You can spend some extra time here, up to 5 minutes, waiting or returning at another time. So no pressure. And if there is, just taking in what this gift might be. Perhaps extending gratitude to the teacher, if that feels appropriate. Moving on from the teacher, we head further into the garden. I invite you to see if there's any altar or shrine space for you to go and pay homage to the benevolent deities of your lineages. And this can take many forms, many shapes. Just noticing what might be here for you. There might be a tree. There might be a well, a hole in the ground with water. And if so, just noticing the shapes of this space, the materials it's made out of. I invite you to see if there is anything you'd like to leave at this altar, at this shrine. Perhaps dipping a hand into pockets and seeing if there's any gifts that want to be left here. Perhaps a stone or a flower. Or perhaps a song or a dance or tears that we can weep and leave as offerings. Just noticing whatever would like to be left in this space as a gift. I invite you to see if there's any prayer or wish you would like to speak or hold at this space, knowing that the benevolent deities of your lineages are here and listening and taking in your prayer or wish or request, and holding that in tenderness. And seeing if there's any prayer or wish that wants to be uttered here. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to see if you'd like to send any other gratitudes to these deities, this altar, shrine space. I invite you to begin heading back out of the garden, knowing that this is a place you can revisit anytime that you need. Moving out of the garden, we pass the benevolent teacher and they wish us well on our journey. We pass the plant or tree spirit that we connected with, and it also wishes us well. And finally, we reach the gate of the garden, and we pass through it and begin walking back to ourselves in the present moment, in the here and now. Whenever you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and take a look around the room that you're in, maybe looking behind you, noticing any windows or doors, maybe taking in colors or shapes that are especially pleasing or comforting to you. And just taking a moment to check in with our spirits and our bodies. And when you're ready, I invite you to take some movement that feels good, maybe stretch, maybe walk or dance, and continue on with your day and your journey, knowing that that space is available to you should you need to return or wish to return. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope this is helpful, and thank you again so much for your support.